Welcome back to Getting Sober ... again. And if you haven't bought yourself a mug, go ahead and click the first link below. They come in black or they come in white. And if you buy one, I get like 13 cents. So today is, I'm going to date this episode. Today is the 4th of January. And it doesn't matter. It's still going to be entertaining to you if it was the 5th of March. So, but today, we're coming off the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, the big holiday. It was a long weekend, plenty of opportunities to make worse decisions instead of better ones. But, like every day, I think to myself, I pray every day. Whatever your ritual is, maybe you talk to the universe, maybe you talk to yourself. Who doesn't talk to themselves when nobody's around? But, I always ask to make better decisions instead of worse decisions. And, there's good, there's bad, but what is good, what is bad, depending on, the person and where they grew up and how they grew up and what they believe in. So I always pray to the opportunity to make better decisions instead of worse decisions. So we just got through a very long holiday weekends. There was 4 days. I think New Year's Eve was on a Thursday. New Year's Day was on Friday. And then there was Saturday and Sunday. There was like bowl games. And there was, and I'm from Ohio. So, Ohio, I think, beat whoever, Clemson. And then the Browns, I live in Cleveland, and the Browns beat Steelers. So I don't care about football. Don't comment below. I'm just saying there were plenty of opportunities to be surrounded by a bunch of people that were getting hammered. And, but I feel pretty good. So actually what I did was, I did the opposite of, partying. I didn't do anything. I stayed home. What I mean by that is I stayed home. I did a water fast. It was my first water fast for 3 days. So I started on New Year's Eve day at, 5 o'clock. Too much tea. At 5 p.m., I started my fast. And then, I'm on a keto diet right now. A lot of veggies. Maybe I'll cut it out. Maybe I won't. But I started at 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve. And then I didn't go anywhere on New Year's Eve. I think I was like laying in bed and texted my mom at midnight, like, Happy New Year. And I went to bed. And then, because I knew in my mind, I was like, nothing's going to stop me from being sober. Not that was the issue, but it was like, nothing's going to stop me from breaking my water fast. That was a big struggle for me. It was, to me now, I don't know how many more times I'm going to do a 3-day water fast with no food. I'll tell you that. So if you thought stopping alcohol was bad or hard, maybe don't eat anything at all for 3 days and see if you can get through that. And maybe some of you have. Comment below if you've done a water fast and how you compare that to getting sober, or whatever, right? But so I did that. So I was water fasting for all of the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. And then I broke my fast on the 3rd at 6 p.m. with some roasted veggies, some olive oil, some peanuts, and a hard-boiled egg, right? And then while I was doing that, I was also getting some messages from you all. So shout out to those of you that messaged me during your 3 days, because New Year's resolutions, right? We're gonna say like, I want to get sober, I want to get, or I want to lose some weight, right? Or I want to cut down on sugar, or quit sugar, or whatever it is, whatever compromise you make with yourself. You're like, I want to cut down on sugar instead of just saying like, I'm gonna quit sugar, right? And get my microphone out of the picture. Woo. All right, there it goes. So yeah, that's what I was doing. So I already quit everything else going into it. And I was preparing mentally. I was preparing with my diet to go into the fast, just like I would prepare to go into getting sober, right? So I had already made steps to cutting out what I needed to cut out. And so like with alcohol, let's say you're having 4 beers a day, right? And then maybe going into New Year's Eve, you wanted to cut down to two beers a day. And then on New Year's Eve, maybe you just have the one drink when the ball drops. And then you start the next day starting into detox. But a lot of people, we're all a little bit immature, I guess, aren't we? Like it's kind of hard to be told that we can't do what we want to do, especially if, depending on what your life is, how stressful is work? How many kids do you have running around the house? Or what's your relationship with your non-child having partner like? Or are your cats just getting on your nerves? Are the dogs just ripping up all your favorite slippers? I don't know. There's a lot of things that can stress you out in the day. And then also too, right now, it's COVID time. There's still record numbers of COVID. There's still more and more people are getting sick. More and more people that I know are getting sick and getting hospitalized. My roommate had a scare. He actually just got back from, he got a COVID test because he went out on New Year's Eve and I stayed home. And he went out, and then somebody at the party, at their gathering, whatever we're calling it, somebody got COVID. And so he ended up getting a test today. I was nervous because I have doctor's appointments and stuff tomorrow, and came back negative. So good on that. But it's a little stressful, is my point. Life can definitely be stressful. And I think I talked about in a previous episode that 85% of temptation comes from work, from the workplace. And 90% of all pressure from drinking comes from your peers, right? Societal peers and societal pressure. And that's tough. And then you turn on the TV and there's a commercial for somebody having fun with beer on the beach, right? Or, they're on a vacation. You're like, nobody's going on vacation. I don't buy that, right? And so, so there's marketing all over the place. I bet now that I'm talking about this, like talking about beer, my phone's probably listening, and it's gonna, go on Facebook or whatever, and it's gonna be like, heard you like beer? Here's some beer ads. And it's like, no, you don't know me. Non-alcoholic beer, right? Which that's been happening too. I've been getting like a bunch of stuff in my feed about non-alcoholic beer. But I know life can be stressful. In those first 3 days, it's what I sort of talked about in a previous video is that like it's really important to build up your momentum, right? And we keep trying. We keep. That's why I named the channel "Getting Sober." Again, because it's like we're trying it again. It's like deep down we know we want to be sober. Deep down we know that this isn't good for us, and but for whatever reasons, we keep doing it. But it does take a decent amount of discipline. It does take a decent amount of being honest with yourself and being honest with your friends and your family, what you want. And so far it's been pretty good. It's been pretty easy for me. I actually went to go play pool for the first time in like 2 weeks last night. And I saw one of my coaches, my old coach, and he says, "Hey, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time." And he said, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "No, I'm still not drinking." And he said, "Oh, all right." And then walked away. And then I was like, okay, is that it? It's like, well, can we only have conversations if we're drinking, or I don't know. So that also kind of like helps me out with going to these places, because it's like, well, can we not be friends if we're not drinking? I don't get it. Can we still not have conversations? So that's kind of, it made it a little bit easier for me to not drink. To not go to the same places, because I wasn't doing the same things that they were doing, and maybe we couldn't have conversations, and it was just for one reason or another we weren't vibing well. Not that we couldn't, but just I don't know. I'm just saying coincidentally he walked away right after that. But it was nice that he was going to offer to buy me a drink. But anyway, so hats off to you and congratulations to you if you made it through your first 3 days of the year without drinking. And hats off to you if you didn't make it through the first 3 days. It's day 4 now. It's the 4th. Maybe you had a drink. Maybe your team got into the playoffs, and you were just like, yeah, this is reason to celebrate. I mean, with the Browns, for example, with the Cleveland Browns, they haven't made the playoffs in almost 20 years. I think since like 2002 they haven't made the playoffs. So I'm certain that everybody that I know that's a Browns fan, which I feel like is everybody in Cleveland except for me, they were all drinking heavily. And I know that because I saw everybody's social media posts, but it's okay. None of my friends were agreeing to be sober. So I'm just doing it for me. And you should be doing it for you, right? At the end of the day, you have to live in your vehicle, and you have to deal with the consequences of the brain fog or failed relationships or not feeling like you have enough time in the day to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. What are your goals? Comment below. What is it that you think that alcohol is getting in the way of? Comment below. What are some of the reasons? What are the reasons that you want to do this, that you're doing this for? Are you spending too much money? Are you wasting too much time? Did you get a DUI? Somebody commented recently that they got a DUI and that was the perfect wake-up call. And, it's a very expensive wake-up call. But, as expensive as a DUI is, it's cheaper than dying, right? Which I know how expensive dying is. Like I said, I was dealing with my dad's life insurance and I was talking to my mom about my life insurance today, and it was just like, it's a depressing conversation. Did you know when you get to a certain age too, they just jack up the life insurance rates on you when you get to like 70 or something? It goes from a very modest amount, like whatever it is, $30 a month or something, or 60, 50 bucks. Let's say if it's $100 a month. And then it goes up, it skyrockets. It goes up by like 10 times the amount of money. So I could be wrong on that, but I know that it goes up a lot. And those were all valid concerns, for me. I was thinking about my future. And I had a very lengthy conversation with my mom today about why I'm making these healthier decisions for me. And it's I know that we all have whatever goals. We have our talents, we have our goals, we have the things that we want to do. And some people can juggle being an alcoholic. Some people can juggle drinking excessively. Maybe we don't call them alcoholics, even though it's synonymous with alcoholism. But maybe those people, functional alcoholics, they can do it. They can live the party lifestyle. It seems like whenever you flip on social media or whenever you watch TV or whatever, and you see your favorite celebrities or athletes or whatever, they're all drinking, favorite rock stars, they could drink and they could shred on the guitar. And you're like, I can't even shred on the guitar, but I drink. And it's like, they have some sort of talent, some superpower. And it's like, they're doing it every night. And it's like, things aren't always what they appear. And sometimes things are what they appear. Sometimes I think like Tommy Lee had recently checked into rehab or something like that. And or just got out of rehab, whatever it is. But he said he was drinking something like a half a gallon of vodka or a gallon of vodka a day, some ludicrous amount. You can look that up, or maybe I'll pop it in the video here. But it's a lot. I definitely don't have that tolerance. It makes me feel like I was whining about nothing, because I was having some tequilas, but I was having some tequilas every day, and some beers every day, and some other stuff every day. Not every day, but whatever. I was having fun. And but that's it. We're like breaking up our day. We're breaking up our stressful day with drinking or whatever. Maybe you smoke weed, or maybe you do something else that takes the edge off. Maybe you're into pills, or maybe something that stimulates you. But whatever it is, we're here. I'm here, and I'll tell you, I have no intentions of drinking, and I could definitely say that. Like, I'll save you the trouble of looking back at all of my previous videos. I have never said that, and I believe that now. I am rounding the base very slowly to 3 months, and I think in like 10 days or so, it will be my longest period of sobriety ever in my life as an adult. So that'll be something to celebrate, right? You might, I don't know. This is my personal journey. You might say like, oh man, I thought like you had all your stuff together, and you're some non-alcoholic guru. And it's like, well, I'm working on it. It's baby steps. All right. I'm not judging your journey. So welcome to mine. And hopefully you'll stick around and we could do it together. And so hats off to you. Good luck to you in the new year. And let me know what your regimen is. Let me know what you're doing. Are you working out? Are you eating healthy? Are you doing something different? And just remember, no matter what you do different, unless it's something that you do different, that you've created a habit of doing something different. Like case in point with fasting. They say that fasting becomes easier the more times that you do it, right? So I'd only ever in my life fasted for 1 day, and I was a terrible little baby brat about it. And this last one, I sucked it up and I was an adult about it. And I mostly just stayed in my room and watched YouTube all day. But I got through it, right? I did it. But so the research and everything says, and the opinions all say that it gets easier the more times that you do it. The first time that you work out, it sucks. I mean, you might be excited to go do it and you're just like, man, I didn't know my chest could hurt here, and you're like, I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again. But once, you keep doing it, it gets easier. Motivation's always gonna come and go, right? Like I exercised today, went to the gym today. I skipped yesterday because it was my last day of my fast, but I went on my first day of the fast and the second day of the fast. So in the last 4 days, I went 3 days to the gym. But when I first started, it wasn't always the best, I remember like when I was a kid and I was doing like football practice and I remember doing like the drills and stuff for football, wearing the pads and the helmet. The first time I had to wear a football helmet, it was like, God help me. Like, they pump the helmet up and then they get the pressure in your forehead. And I was like, why would anybody do this more than once, right? And then eventually you get used to it like anything else. So if you decided that this is good for you, stick with it. It all gets easier, right? Riding a bike gets easier. Hopefully your relationship with your partners get easier. Diets get easier. Just the first couple of days, they suck. Real talk. The first week kind of sucks. And again, that momentum part is like the part that I think that everybody struggles with is that you're so close to all of the negative momentum. You're like, well, I've been drinking for 20 years. So if I quit today, that's only 1 day. I've not been sober for 20 years, and now that's versus 1 day. And it's like, yeah, that's true. And that kind of thinking is definitely gonna mess you up and you will never succeed, I promise you. So if you're gonna keep thinking that way, then don't watch this video. Don't watch these videos anymore. Don't watch any other videos on sobriety. Don't try to get sober because you're not, if that's the way that you think. You can't think that way. It's just, this is day one and we're gonna get through day one. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you're like, I did it. Now I just gotta get through day two. And it's just every day time is an illusion anyway, right? It's all just one long day. And even you still like, okay, well, still one long day. And like 20% of my life I've been drinking or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, stop it. That's the same negative thinking. So yeah, that's why I say the first 3 days are hard. But like once you get through that and you start adjusting to the day 4 and you get the tired's and all that, you're getting further away. Think of it that way. You're getting further away from the person that you don't want to be anymore. That's going to be way more helpful to you than thinking that, oh, I'm only 4 days into it. No, you're 4 days away from trauma, right? You're 4 days away from not being that person that you don't want to be anymore. And, day 5, you're even further away. A week, you're further away. For me, it's been 2 months. 2 months and 5 days. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's a long time. Bye. Like, I'm done with that. And that's where I want to be mentally. And that's where you should hope to want to be also, is that I'm done with that. I don't do it anymore. I don't drink anymore. And, is there an occasion maybe that I might have a drink when I feel like I have a healthier relationship with it? Yeah, maybe I'll have a drink. Maybe next Christmas. I don't know. Maybe if I win the lottery, I don't know, who knows? But, until then, it's my purpose and my goal to be as comfortable with myself as possible. And I want you to feel that way too. So if your goal is just you want to cut down on the drinking, cut down on the drinking. If you think you can get down to just a drink a day, still not advocating the drinking, but if that's what you think that you want to do that. Instead of, it's better than drinking a half a gallon of vodka a day, but you got to get there. You got to get to that point. And definitely it's worth giving your body the reset. You can only put so many miles on your car. And with the drinking, it's the difference between putting on city miles versus putting on highway miles, right? So while we're drinking, we're definitely putting city pothole miles on our car. And we're risking all kinds of cancers, you know, oral cancer, esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, everything, bladder, colon, you name it. We're risking all of that. Liver, cirrhosis, all that stuff, affecting our kidneys, our brain, a lot of things that we're affecting by drinking alcohol. And of course, we know that alcohol is the biggest gateway drug there is. I don't care what those ads in the 90s said. I've never done anything else and said, boy, you know, I need something else. Well, except for, you know, there's a couple of things, but alcohol has always been the thing where I go, yeah, sure. You know, if somebody's passing something around, I'll take that, or I'll take that, or, you know, I'll take that. It's always been alcohol, right? So you know that, I know that, but good luck. Hopefully you'll make it to day 5, and we will make it to day 5. Say it. I'm gonna make it to day 5. And then day 5 is close enough to a week. So you're gonna make it a week. But if you had a drink, be kind with yourself, right? If you had a drink, chill out, relax. It doesn't mean go back full steam. All right, you had a hiccup. Get back on the sober train and stay with your goal. All right, so that's it for today. I'm gonna obviously have more videos coming up. I'm gonna try to keep these short. These are more like vlogs. I'm just chit-chatting. But thank you for watching, and thank you for paying attention. So if you haven't yet, subscribe, because I always forget to subscribe unless somebody tells me to subscribe. And then I think about it, I'm like, do I want to subscribe? It was a good video, I'll like it, but I'm not gonna subscribe. Or it's like, this is something I need more of, then yeah, subscribe. So hopefully you need more of it, because I need money and I'm not monetized yet at all. So help me get there. Buy a mug, stay blessed, stay sober. Goodbye.